Welcome to the
Coochie
Booze Pod.
Podcast.
Period. We are not just a comedy podcast. We're really about the human experience. We're really about analyzing the relationships we have with one another through the very specific lens of two individuals. Thing one and thing two.
Yeah.
We're the podcast that puts the anal in analysis.
Oh no.
So this is today I'll be Sailor Gloom with Giggles McGee. Giggles McGee and Sailor Gloom. And we're on another episode.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. I'll start with my favorite question. How did you get here? How are you?
Me, I'm sleepy. I just got off of work. The train commute over here was a little longer than expected, but I
The
made
weekend
it
shenanigans.
here. Yeah. I made it here in one piece.
You did. That's important. Because sometimes, in the words of Kiki Palmer, sometimes you gotta be proud of how you got to the end of the day. Because every day is a tough one.
Mm-hmm. And it's only 4:27.
Only 4:27. Only 7 minutes past 4:20.
Ooh. Blaze it.
Right. Okay. Very similar. I think we were just talking a little bit earlier about the week, this week, and then just the weeks in general in the past days and how they've just been tough. They've been weird. It feels like forever, but it feels short at the same time.
Yeah, very monotonous.
Do you think that, or do you remember if this point in the year always feels like that, or you think this is a very special case for 2025? Or do you feel like usually when you get to April, you hit this sort of kind of spring bump, let's call it?
I guess, because I'm always thinking about like, oh, it's almost May. Then it's going to be June, and then I'm like, what am I going to do in June? And then it's almost, we're like a few days away from May. So I'm like, damn, April flew by so fast.
It really did. I feel that. April is gone.
It was just April Fool's the other day.
The joke's on us, really.
Like, damn, time passes by so fast when you're an adult.
It really does.
And then I sometimes think about my, like, the whole year as a school schedule still sometimes. Even though I'm 28. I mean, I could be in college, but I'm not. But yeah, I think it's just because I'm used to thinking about the year like that still.
Yeah. Well, thinking about the year that way does provide a sense of, like, time, a sense of routine, right? You have your semester, you have your
quarter.
Yeah, or you have your quarter, your semester, and you have 2 of those per year, and then you have kind of like your breaks in between. So I feel like that makes sense. I feel like, because even when you're out of school, some sense of that timing still applies. Because I feel like even when you're not in school, like summer is still summer, whether you have an official summer vacation or not. And yeah, I mean, like there are other like periods of the year where I guess it's like maybe meant to be more work focused, I guess. But I feel like it's still a valid way of thinking, or still a helpful way of thinking at least. So, random question. Have you ever been blessed? Have you ever been cursed? Have you ever had a blessing and a curse?
Blessed by what? Like a pope?
However you feel.
Blessed? I don't know. Blessed to wake up every day. Breathing every day. I guess that's the only blessing I could think of right now.
That's very positive. Very positive thinking.
Yeah, because I see a lot of posts on social media like saying, oh, you should be thankful that you woke up today. Not everybody woke up today. The next day that they went to sleep, blah, blah, blah.
You heard it here. Social media is not just a bad thing. It inspires gratitude, apparently.
Yeah, but then sometimes I'm like, oh, I should not be pessimistic.
Mm.
Like, what
Because
do
of
you
social
mean?
media?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? I gotta be grateful that I woke up
Oh,
this morning. What if I'm not?
I see. Like it helps inspire some optimism, but at the same time, make it's easy to feel a little bit guilty if you're not always feeling positive.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I see that. I don't have social media, but I can see that.
I mean, I'm addicted to social media, so I guess that's why I feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess not having like a set schedule every day makes me feel like that. I don't know.
Well, this is the place to be addicted. It is. It really is.
Yes, listen to our voices.
Yes.
Love us.
Yeah, this podcast and Earth in general, the perfect place to be addicted. Where else can you be addicted if not Earth?
Worship us.
There we go. Worship the coochie. Worship the booze.
The Coochie Boo duo.
Okay. So today we thought we'd talk about something that we can both relate to. We are both the eldest sibling. Being the eldest sibling shapes you. It shapes your childhood all the way up to your adulthood or how you act now. Allegedly, I'll say allegedly. We'll get into that in a bit. But the stereotype for the life trajectory of an eldest child is that, from what I've heard, from what I feel like I've experienced, is that you, or the eldest child, I'll speak in general a little bit, is that it creates this environment of pressure for you to act quote unquote well or well enough based on people's expectations of you because you're the oldest.
Oh yeah, to set the example for your younger siblings.
Exactly. I think maybe another potential route of being the eldest is that maybe because you were born first, you may get a little bit of preferential treatment in the family because, right, there's just not anyone else who was born first. So that's another potential route. And then I think on the opposite side of that coin, maybe because you were born first, you may not receive as much attention as children that were born later in the family. So, like a few routes that I feel like the life of an eldest child can take on depending on what happens. According to Nathan Yao on the internet, I don't know him. Um, Apparently, to his computations and calculations, Mr. Yao, 41% of people are eldest children. And then
Okay.
40% of people are youngest children. Does that mean that
What?
19% of people
Yeah.
are middle children? Because that seems a little bit low to me. Like I would like to know how Mr. Yao calculated that.
Yeah, is this between two siblings?
That's the thing. I looked at the data, the the secret data, but it seemed like a chart that mapped out the more children there are. So it seemed like it was considered of families with more than two children.
Oh.
Right, because that is a little funky. But all that to say, I think we can take away from that is that there's a good chunk of people that are eldest children.
But what happens to the other 19?
The middle children, they're the special middle children.
Why
But
is
this
it?
isn't an episode about them. This is an episode about the eldest.
But it should have been included in Mr. Yao's findings.
Well, I didn't include it in my findings. But let's talk about your experience. What's your experience being an eldest child?
I had to be mom number 2 because I have a brother that he's a year and 2 months younger than me. So yeah, like I would always see pictures of me and him always together. I don't really remember my childhood that much, but I have this vivid memory that I was crying in his birthday party in the yard. I think it was his 3rd birthday, something like that. I was probably 4. I was crying because there was peer pressure me to blow out his candles. I was like, why am I blowing out candles in front of all these other kids in the house that I don't even know? Like, why? Why are you putting me in the spot for? So yeah, I think that's my earliest memory too. That was it. That yeah, because I think after that it was me remembering watching one of the twin towers fall in the TV, and I think I was around the same age too, but that was later in the year. Yeah, I was 4, 2001, 1997. Yeah, I think that is my second memory. But going back to what I first said, yeah, definitely has to be mom number 2 to help out in the house. And then I also had to be the example, even though I think I stopped doing that when I was like a teenager because I was a little rebellious.
Oh.
Yeah, my parents decided to have 2 other children after I turned 9, so I felt like their attention shifted from me and my brother to my younger brother and my younger sister. Yeah.
And do you feel like your like how did that shape or change anything once you had your younger brother and sister in the picture? Like it sounds like you went from like did the kind of that mom aspect, that second mom aspect that you're mentioning, did that begin then or was that already is that when that ended?
I mean, I think it was always part of my life. I just remember being like the example because I had to give up a lot of my teenage years taking care of my 2 younger siblings.
Your siblings.
Siblings. Yes, those 2 creatures. Siblings. I don't know. It kind of sucks having younger siblings like 10 years after your
Younger siblings.
10 years after you're bored. Because what the fuck am I? Oh, can I curse here?
Well, it's the Coochie was proud, why not?
Because like why I gotta watch these kids? They're not even mine.
I see.
I'm not being ungrateful, but like, please tell me why.
I see. Okay. So it sounds like there was always, as an eldest child in your experience, always a bit of responsibility there. And then as you headed into your teenage years, you kind of shed that responsibility a little bit because you wanted to intentionally be more of a teenager rather than take care of your younger siblings.
Stop.
Okay. Younger siblings. Okay.
Stop
I
it.
got you. Um, I'll I'll take a turn. My experience, I can relate in that because my younger sibling.
Oh my god.
Okay, last one. My younger sister is about 10 years older than me, so I did feel
What? She's 10 years older than you?
younger.
Oh.
Younger. She's about 10 years younger than me, so I definitely do recall taking on a bit more of a parental role. I don't want to say I was a parent, but I did feel like I assumed responsibility whether I wanted to or not. I just
Yes.
feel like that's the only thing I really had to emulate really was my mom. And obviously she's a parent, so she's going to be parental. And because that's the only thing I really had to emulate, I also started to take after that and found myself emulating that and trying to be parental as well. Um, I think I, at one point, also had to teach myself to shed that, not necessarily because I wanted to be more of a teenager, but more because I was learning that was not my place. I am someone's sibling. And not their second parent. So I had to kind of teach myself to let that go a little bit. Um, so I would say that's what my experience felt like more so. But I think with the eldest in general, I feel like there's definitely testing done because
Oh yeah,
it's the first
definitely
time the parent is learning how to be a parent. But obviously, as a young person that is growing up, it's your first time being a young person growing up. So I think there's a little bit of first on both sides. Um, it's a little bit of a circle. It's a little bit of a kind of like circular process, or um, like where does it start and where does it end? Like Soldier Boy calling out Drake and his kid Adonis. Hiding his son from
Drake.
the world, but his world want to hide from the sun. Drake, that
Drake.
Drake. Um, so yeah, I think it's a little bit because of the first on both sides for whether it's the parent or the children, which in this case we were. Um, I think we both, or well, I can't speak for the parents, right? Because we're not the parents, but I think us as eldest children, there's something that we eventually learn that may
Resentment.
change. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Um, Resentment. So talk about that resentment. Did it come from that kind of responsibility that you felt?
Yeah, because I feel like my younger siblings, they they get more leeway from my parents. They're like they're more nicer to them than they are to me and my other brother that are a year apart. So I don't know, it feels like betrayal to me.
Oh, not betrayal. They got
I mean,
serious.
betrayal is probably a strong word to use, but I wish I got that same treatment.
Hmm.
Somebody else should have been older, not me.
Well, the womb wants what it wants. The womb will do what it. The womb wombs what it wombs.
Yeah, like
To
I.
womb or not to womb.
Sometimes I wish I had an older sister or brother to help me not feel like this, but
Hmm.
I guess I am that person to my other siblings.
Okay. You wish you had an elder sibling to be an example, or to be the example that you are to your younger siblings.
Yeah,
I got you.
they gotta take care of it, not me.
I got you. That's valid. We talked about this a little bit, but as eldest siblings, we had points in time before we had younger siblings, right? For me, it was about 10 years. For you, it sounds like your first brother, you're about a year and a half apart.
Yeah, that was no time.
No time, no time.
I don't remember what I was
Okay.
doing at 1 years old.
But then I know that your other set of siblings, there's another
Like a 10 year
similar 10-year difference.
10 year
So
gap.
maybe we could talk about that. So I can start with this one. Um, Basically, just trying to compare what life was like before and after my sister was born. Before, I mean, it was a long time ago, so it's not too much that I remember. But in relationship or relative to having a sister, I think before I didn't really have any expectations. I guess I was just kind of going about, elementary school as a younger kid does. Um, Going through elementary school, looking back now in hindsight, I can definitely say I probably had some only kid tendencies. Like, because I remember, like, finding ways to entertain myself because I was the only person I had. I used to play this game with coins. I would take two coins and then I would make them, like, fight to the death and just push them into each other as if they had their own
Oh,
like power to push themselves when really I'm the one controlling which one wins. But I would say maybe knowing that I had to be the one to entertain myself, and feeling a little bit more. I don't want to say
I'm bored.
alone exactly, but there's a generational difference between me and my parent. There's also like a culture difference, right? Like I was born here in America, my mom was not, so there's like a language barrier included in all that. So again, I don't want to say the word alone because it sounds a little bit harsh, but definitely like I felt,
Lonely.
yeah, to myself for, to keep it short and sweet. And then after my sister was born, um, it did feel a little bit like almost like having a baked in friend because like she was always going to be there. Um, right, there was that like parental kind of thing I talked about earlier where that was in the picture for a while, but like keeping that out of the picture, it did kind of feel like a baked in friend. Um, and I do remember feeling excited that she was like coming soon, making her way into this world. And then I also remember there was like my mom found a home video the other day, and in it, I guess we're talking about like my sister arriving, and I'm at my cousin's house, and so we're talking about it, and they say something like, "What if it's a boy? What if it's a girl?" And I said, "Oh, if it's a girl, she can do my laundry."
Oh no.
How horrible! The
Misogynistic.
misogynoir. And the funny thing is that that girl has never, ever, a day in her life done my laundry. I've done probably more laundry for her than she's done for me, which is crazy.
That's
But
crazy.
the fact that I said, who taught me that as a younger kid?
Too much TV.
Right, way too much TV. Way too much TV.
That is
It
crazy.
is insane. But overall, to sum it up, I think the main difference is feeling a little bit less alone. Even though still to this day I still am pretty much to myself and carry out and carry my life out and about that way. But I guess still having in the back of my mind, this is my sister, whether in like a fun way or whether in like a responsible way, but having that in the back of my mind somewhere would be the biggest difference.
Mhm.
What about for you? Is there anything you can remember from before and after your younger siblings were born?
Um, well, I think my parents and my brother, who's a year apart from me, we would go out more and do like more stuff. Even though it was probably like just going to BJ's to get groceries, but at the time BJ's was in New Jersey, so we had to cross the bridge in the
Oh,
car.
wow.
We would shop there and then come back to New York because that was only BJ's around. And I always looked forward to those days because I was like, oh my God, yes, the car. We could be in the car. And then sometimes, no, I think it was like most weekends we would just go to our grandma's house. She didn't live too far away from us, probably like 20 minutes on the bus or less.
After BJ's?
No, this is like on the
Oh,
weekends.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we went on the weekends to BJ's. We probably did, but maybe like on a Friday or Saturday night we would spend the day with my grandma, and then my dad will come pick us up in the car and take us home. And then after my two younger siblings were born, we just stopped going out. I was like, damn, like why are we always in the house? I think my mom didn't know how to handle all of us
Yeah,
together.
that's 4 kids.
And yeah, during that time, I used to have a friend that used to live across the street. Well, I had two friends. We would like switch between them to like hang out with them so that they could take us out. So we would not be home all the time. We would go to like the beach or to like an amusement park. Yeah. So we wouldn't be cooped up with my little siblings or babies and my
Was
mom.
that just you or was that
It was both me and my brother.
gotcha? So you guys would get to go to the friend's house and she would stay with the two younger kids?
Yeah.
Got you.
While my dad was working. Oh yeah. My mom was just at home with my two younger siblings, and then me and my brother would sometimes go out with other or friends to do something so we wouldn't be always cooped up and get some fresh air in.
Touch some grass.
So touch some grass, get some sunlight in.
That sounds like maybe the unit of the 4 or 5 of you wouldn't. go, but still trying to find ways to get you maybe to interact with kids your age, since there was like a 9 year, 10 year difference.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then those friends also had younger siblings too. So it was just like, wow,
Big families.
I love all of you.
Uh-huh.
Lots of people to hang out with,
Mm-hmm.
even though I preferred one friend over the other.
Not the drama.
Don't tell them that though.
You don't tell them that. This is how many years later.
I mean, they know who they are.
Okay.
Love ya.
And do you feel like fast forward to now, there's anything that has definitely changed or stayed the same? Like I know you mentioned a little bit, like you shed that responsibility a little bit. So has that kind of stayed there, or do you feel like it's morphed into something else?
I mean, I keep to myself more now, to be honest. And I have a boyfriend too, so if I don't want to be home, I just escape to his house or do something with him. So I'm not around my family the whole time. I mean, and then I'm always in my room for some peace and quiet because I have a really loud family. So yeah, I gave up on that, keeping an example for my younger siblings for peace of mind.
Got you.
Because I'm also an adult. I don't have kids yet. None of my friends have kids either. So yeah.
It sounds like a little bit of having siblings for you. Would you say that it meant activity and like a little bit of chaos even?
Activity.
Like, because it sounds like you like to make sure that you get your time outside the house. So is that because like the three of you or the four of you under the same roof is a little bit like
Overstimulating, yeah.
more chaotic than you would like? Got you.
Yeah. Especially since I don't I don't have my own room. I need to like separate myself from that area and then come back hours later.
And was that like that growing up too, or is this more of a recent development?
I think it's always been like that.
Okay. Just curious, just nosy, just getting an idea of what it's like being the eldest in a four children household.
Yeah, but it's only three now because my brother that's a year younger than me, he has a wife and a child. They live in PA. So there's less kids, but still overstimulation.
Let me see. So, fast forwarding to now, do you feel like there's any effects of being an eldest child that are currently playing into your life? And I can start with this one. I think, yes, there's still some pressure or some feeling of responsibility that kind of hovers in the air. Um, I don't know if it's necessarily to be an example, but definitely like at the bare minimum, at the most, it's to be an example. At the bare minimum, it's just to make sure that like I'm around. Um, but there could also maybe not be. Maybe that's just due to me wanting to be a decent enough person and not because of some responsibility of being a quote unquote adult child. So who knows? But I
Man,
think,
you're just doing your best.
yeah, I'm just doing my best.
We both are.
Exactly. Do you feel like there's any lasting impacts in your life?
Of being the oldest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what year I'm gonna move out. What age I'm gonna be. I mean, there's no rush to move out yet because the economy is so bad right now.
But
yeah.
You feel like because you're the eldest, you have to soon?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of time has passed too. Like I gotta do something about it.
So it seems like there's no definite answer. And that's what one of these articles pointed out in my research, that this is all a bunch of BS because some of it is really what people tell you. It's like, oh, you're the eldest, so you're gonna face this, and that. And sometimes what happens is when someone tells you something enough, you feel like you have to do it, or like that's what's gonna happen to you because someone told you enough. That's what I'm saying. Like, who knows whether this is actually a result of being the eldest, or if this is more so a result
Of
of feeling
society.
like the eldest.
Society
Exactly.
peer pressuring you to feel like this.
Exactly. So, is there anything you've learned today?
Being the eldest
Giggles McGee.
sucks.
Okay. I have a suspicion if you weren't the eldest, it would still suck, honestly.
Oh.
I feel like it would, like, no matter what
Oh.
position.
My mom said it was only supposed to be me and my brother. I don't know what happened, but
Well, clearly she had fun. She was
she
living
forgot
life.
about that. That shit just
Right.
went out the window.
I think every position in this kind of like children lineup has its pros and cons. Feel like you could be the eldest and feel horrible. You could be the youngest, feel horrible. You could be that lonely, alleged 19% of middle children and still have a hard time. So who knows? I feel like each one has its own stereotypes of the role that they are.
Yeah. You're just born one day and then bam.
Yeah. And maybe you're born with it. And maybe it's Maybelline. I have a few questions for you.
Ooh.
Do you have any standout memories with your siblings? I know you talked about the BJs. Is there anything else that sticks out in your memory? What does BJ stand for even? Is that the guy's name?
No.
BJ?
BJ's Wholesale Club.
But who is BJ?
I don't know.
Bert Johnson?
Barney Jackson.
And why does he need things so big?
He's like Costco.
Okay, but why do we need a 10-pack of animal crackers?
Because you don't want to go shopping every week for food.
But you don't need that many animal crackers.
But you could,
Well, you did have a 4-children family, so.
But when we went to New Jersey, it was only two.
It was only two of you.
Two of us. So it wasn't like a lot of grocery shopping.
I see. Well, do you have any standout memories?
Memories?
With your siblings or otherwise? Next.
No.
Do you think twins ever have feelings about being the eldest or not? Do you think they have any like thoughts do you think this is something they can even relate to? Or do you think we've alienated the twin audience from our podcast?
I don't know.
Because they're not like, I feel like twins love to say, "Oh, I'm 3 minutes older. Oh, I'm older by 10 minutes." Girl, shut up. You are a twin.
They have like telepathy too. Like they have their own twin language.
Yeah. So you don't think they can relate to anything we've talked about today?
I mean, maybe a little bit.
I don't know how.
Somebody was born, like 5 minutes.
That's
early.
dumb to me. I'm born 5 minutes apart from them. So like to me that I don't acknowledge that. I'm sorry, Coochie Boo audience.
I mean,
if you're a twin, I don't acknowledge that.
One of them is probably more responsible than the other one.
But that's anyone. That's what I'm saying. What if we've just talked about a whole bunch of nonsense today? Because that's literally anyone.
That's true.
Yeah. Like your younger sibling could be more responsible.
I feel like she is.
Oh, you see? So what are we talking about?
I'm just living life.
So I think what we've learned today, in spite of it all, is that we've been talking a bunch of bullshit.
I express my feelings.
No, that's very important. We express our feelings here. And that's greater than any piece of research online.
You can't bottle up everything you feel. You gotta put it out there. I don't care if I hurt your feelings.
Damn, okay. And last but not least, who do you think will have Bad Bunny's primogénito?
Girl.
And
I don't know why his auntie keep asking him, but I thought it was gonna be Gabriela, but I don't know. Let's see if he...
You don't think you have a foot in the race?
Runs back to her. I don't think she's gonna take him back.
I'm saying, do you think you have a foot in the race?
Hopefully.
I
wouldn't mind having a little Puerto Rican baby. I have a Puerto Rican boyfriend too, so close enough.
Oh, close enough. That's very true.
Who do you think is gonna be his?
Some yet to be known, waiting to be discovered. Currently listening to the Coochie Boost pod. Thinking about her younger siblings.
Let it go.
I'll let it go. Okay.
Come on, be like Elsa.
I'll let it go.
Also and Anna, they're another sibling duo.
And how do you... That's true. Who was the eldest? Elsa,
Was
right?
it Elsa?
I think it was Elsa.
Yeah.
Because Anna was busy falling in love as a younger sibling does. And Elsa was busy feeling the repercussions of her special unique abilities and the responsibility that she owes to the rest of her family.
I
I
feel like
think that movie took from our life stories,
I feel
really, if
like
you think about it.
it's the opposite for me and my brother.
How so?
Cause I was
Well, we ran out of time. We'll talk about that in a different episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Coochie Boo's out.